Try to give it up for Randy, y'all. Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Guys doing all right?
Yeah.
A little bit of response I got there. I'm not a poet. I'm not a rapper. I'm not a singer. So I'm not going to be bringing to you any kind of poetry or anything. I'm going to deliver you guys a little bit of a speech, if you don't mind, if you bear with me through this. But before giving my talk, I would like to go ahead and thank everybody that is in attendance here today. I would like to thank the old dogs over there in the corner especially. I said I want to thank the old dogs in the corner. No, they ain't not paying attention. Thank the Nation of Islam for their presence today. I want to thank all the other booths and vendors that are here today. There's too many of them to give shout out to right now. I didn't think there was going to be this many people, this many booths actually here. But in the sense of giving thanks to those that are in attendance today, as far as our friends go, I think it's very important that we give a presence and welcoming to our enemies as well. Because you have to understand that in an event like this, when a community comes together, especially in an area like this, I'm not from this area, but I've heard and I've seen videos and done my research on this area. This area is very high in gang activity. And so when a community comes together on a corner such as this one, you have to understand that there are going to be people among us and among the crowd that don't want to see us prosper. They're going to be here, and you have to understand that there's always going to be enemies. And sometimes we call them snakes, other times you call them whatever, and they walk among you. And the thing is that, but it's important that we give thanks to them and recognize that their presence is here today as well. But that's the thing that I kind of want to get into, is that the thing is even with enemies here present, and even the enemies that surround us, they can't stop the unity of the community. And that's very apparent here today. Obviously they can't stop it because we're here. We're here, we have the event going, and the thing is that even with all the things that they try to do, it can't be stopped. And the thing is that if we understand that, and we come together and know that our enemies cannot stop us, we are very unstoppable in that sense. But sometimes the problem with the unity that we have in our community is that it's breeded by disaster. And that's the sad part about sometimes the unity that we come together and have, is that we have disasters that breed unity, in the sense of police killings, as you can see right here on the wall. And you have other tragic events that occur, and then the communities come together at times. But the problem is that we need to come together before the tragic events occur. Because if we come together before these tragic events occur, there's a possibility that these events may not occur in the first place. There's a possibility that we could prevent these events from even happening in the future. But the thing is that we have to understand something about ourselves. And the thing is that we have to understand something about every single person that is here today. And the thing is that we have to understand is that we are all victims of the same system. No matter what your color is out here today, no matter what your religious affiliation is, no matter what gender, no matter what orientation, no matter what job, no matter what thing you hold, every single person out here today is a victim of the same system. That's the dead truth right there. No matter who you are, we are all victims of the same system, in the sense that Donald Trump doesn't care about any one of us. He wants to see us all have the same downfall. The police will shoot any one of us because of our presence out here right now, because they see the unity that we have going in our community right now. They see this. And the thing is, they want to see the downfall of every single one of us. But the thing is that the unity that we need is breeded by the disasters. But the thing is that we need to come together before these disasters occur, so this way we can prevent these disasters from happening. For example, if you look at the Black Panther organization that started in Oakland in the 1960s, what happened when they came together? They came together and they brought a message to the police of Oakland. And they let the police of Oakland know, hey, we got this. This is our neighborhood. We don't need you to come into our neighborhood and police our areas. We don't need you to do this for us. We can do this. We can take care of ourselves. And what happened when they started? A spin-off of them started in New York, a party by the name of the Young Lords, a Puerto Rican sect of the, or not a Puerto Rican sect, but a Puerto Rican spin-off of the Black Panthers started. And you look at the Nation of Islam is another perfect example. When they came together and they brought black people together and they unified them and they took them out of the ghettos and they took the drugs away from them and they took all these things from them and put them in clothes that covered themselves up and taught them who they were. And the thing is that these events that occur, these communities that occur, these groups that get together are what we need. They are exactly what we need, but the thing is that we have to unify even more amongst ourselves. We have to understand that we have to unify, because at the end of the day, we are all victims of the same exact system that is in place here today. And I'm going to keep telling you that because it is very true. And the thing is here's the million-dollar question about it all. Is that if we were all victims of the same exact system, of the same exact system that has been choking us and depressing us and keeping us oppressed for all these years, why are we not united on the same front? If we are all victims of the same system, why is it that we are not united on the same front? Why do we have so many different split sects and things like this going on within our community? That's the question that we need to answer, and the question that we need to address. Because the thing is like, if you think about it in the sense of schooling, when you would take a test in school, if your teacher said, hey, it's going to be a group test, you got happy. Why did you get happy? Because more brains came together and you could get a better grade on the test. It was better than going to the test by yourself. So you put all your friends together and you guys would say, all right, let's all do this test together. And then you guys would all do the test together, whatever, and you would all have the same collective grade and things like this. The thing is that more brain power works better. You get better results when more people come together. And you have to understand that this system wants to see you separated. This system doesn't want this united thing going on right here, because this is dangerous. Because it wakes people up. It brings people of the same victim mentality together. And that's the thing that they don't want us to see. And you have to understand is that you have to look past the outward appearances of your neighbor. You have to look past the skin color of the person standing next to you. You have to look past the hair texture of the person standing next to you. Because outwardly, that's pretty much all that separates you and I, is our hair texture and our skin color. Underneath, we have bones. Underneath, we have a heart. We have lungs. We breathe the same air, eat the same food, need the same water, require the same things for living. But the thing is that we sometimes forget about this. We focus more on our differences than we do our similarities. And we have much more in common than we have in different. Think about that for a second, about the things that you share in common with human beings versus the things that you don't share in common with your fellow human beings. And the thing is that it's also important that we know who our enemy is. We know who our enemy is. I don't need to tell you our enemy is. And we have many different justifications, and there's many different people we could sit here and call enemies, things like that. But we know who our enemy is. And specifically with gangbanging. Gangbangers, you have to understand is that your enemy is not the man that wears the opposite color of you. It is not the man that lives across town. It is not the man that decided he was going to grow up in a different street and represent a different part of San Diego, or I'm from Long Beach. It's not that man that decides that he's going to live across town and he's from the east, west, north, whatever. It's not that. You have to know who your enemy is. You have to recognize your enemy and come together and fight against that enemy. And that doesn't mean you get together and you go out and you start doing random killings. No. It doesn't mean random acts of violence against your enemy. It means that you be smart. It means that you use your brain. You read books, you open up things, you enlighten yourself, and you become aware of who your enemy is. I just want to touch base on this one quick thing before I get out of here. Past February, I was involved in a rally that happened in Anaheim. I'm sorry, not the rally, but there was a KKK rally that happened in Anaheim, not too far from here. And there was a group of protesters that got together, and we went against the KKK. And unfortunately, we were arrested and charged, and we all have charges pending on us, but the KKK was let off, of course, right? But the thing is that when we went out there, it just wasn't black people that went against them. It was people of all different colors, because we knew who our enemy was. We knew that the KKK hates every single one of us equally. We knew that they all hated us. So the thing is that you have to recognize your enemy. It is not the man standing next to you. It is not your neighbor. You know who your enemy is. Recognize your enemy, unite, and fight against that enemy. Thank you. Give it up.